All right, you guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. Um, Thanks for joining me while I'm reading this book. I have an exciting book today. I am going to be reading about New York. Yes, I found a children's book on New York. Hope you guys had a great weekend. So this book is called Guess How Much I Love New York. Guess how much I love New York. It says, "Hi, I'm Hudson, the pigeon." There's a lot of pigeons in New York. I'm Hudson the pigeon. I'm full of all kinds of fun facts about the greatest city of all times, which is New York. Follow along and learn about some of the awesome things about the city that never sleeps. New York is the city that never sleeps. Do you love New York this much? He says, "No, I love New York more than that. Because it has the Statue of Liberty. You can take a ferry ride to Liberty Island to see the amazing 305-foot statue and stop at the Ellis Island Immigration Museum to see the names of more than 12 million people who immigrated to America through Ellis Island. Inscribed, by the way, some people don't know, even people in New York don't even know. It says inscribed on the Statue of Liberty are the words, 'Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free.' Do you love New York this much? He says, "No, I love New York more than that because it has Times Square. I've never seen so many people bright and so many people with all these bright lights and everything. I've never seen that before. The city lights, and I love going to see the awesome Broadway shows. They have a lot of Broadway shows and off-Broadway shows in New York." It says, "Did you know that Times Square is one of the world's busiest pedestrian walkways? Over 250,000 people walk through Times Square every day." Hope that helps. She says again, "Do you love New York this much?" He says, "No, I love New York more than that because it has double-decker bus tours that show you some of the best things in the city, like Grand Central Terminal, the busiest train station in the world, as well as Carnegie Hall, Metropolitan Opera House, Radio City Music Hall, the Harbor, the 9/11 Memorial and Museum, the Brooklyn Bridge, the New York Public Library, and the United Nations headquarters. Brooklyn Bridge, Carnegie Hall, Radio City Music Hall, and Grand Central Terminal. And the pigeon over here says, "Don't forget to hop off and grab a slice of pizza at one of the 1,500 pizza restaurants in the city." We all know that New York's got its great pizza. We all know that. There's no argument there. Do you love New York this much? No, I love New York more than that because it has 5 awesome boroughs. It has Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, and Staten Island, filled with so many different people, cultures, and countries represented in one big, wonderful city. You can even take a walking food tour of the city to see, to smell, and to taste some of the best things that the people and places of New York have to offer. New York. Do you love New York this much? No, I love New York more than that because it has Central Park. I love going to the Central Park Zoo in the spring, seeing the symphony and Shakespeare plays on summer nights, renting a boat for a boat ride in the fall, and ice skating there in the wintertime. We get all of that in New York. The Pigeons, again, he's saying something. He says, it's also fun just to rent a bike and ride around to see all of the fun things in the park, like Belvedere Castle, Bow Bridge, and the model boats at Conservatory Water. Do you love New York this much? No. I love New York more than that because it has some of the best sports teams in the country, with Major League Baseball, basketball, football, hockey, and lacrosse. There's something for all sports fans, any time of the year. Do you love New York this much? This much? Nope. I love New York even more than that because it has the Empire State Building. The Empire State Building is a National Historic Landmark, the most famous office building in the world, and is 1,453 feet, 8 9/16 inches tall. So tall, you can see the whole city from its observatory towers. It even has its own zip code. Did you guys know that? It even has its own zip code. At the top of the rock at Rockefeller Center, you can also see an awesome view of the city skyline, including the huge Statue of Liberty. Do you love New York this much? Nope. I love New York more than that because it has Museum Mile and wonderful museums all around the city, like American Museum of Natural History. And I've been there a few times. Really nice. It's nice. Love that museum. The Metropolitan Museum of the Art, the Museum of Modern Art, the Guggenheim Museum, National Museum of Mathematics, and the Children's Museum of Manhattan, just to name a few. The Metropolitan Museum of Art is home to over 1,000 years of art, from mummies to armor to Monet to musical instruments. Do you love New York this much? Yes. I love New York that much because it is awesome and it has all this cool stuff, and I think it might be my favorite place ever. There's actually quite a few more things about New York that is not mentioned in this book of New York. We have a lot of people that have been born and raised in New York that are into the music industry. Tribe Called Quest. There has been LL Cool J, Ja Rule, got to mention Ja Rule. There's been so many different people. My sister was in the industry. Won't mention her name because she'll probably kill me. But there's been a lot of people that and in the music industry that have come out there. There's also a lot of sports people that I've met that played, like one guy that I know played for the New York Jets. I've worked with him. He's my coworker, Mr. Eric McMillan. I have a female friend of mine that I work with. She played for the New York Liberty. Her name is Tiffany Johnson. There's so many greats that have come out of New York. So when you get a chance, visit New York. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow at 2 o'clock, even if I have to do it again on my phone, live from my phone.